어딨냐고 물어봤지 뭐 하냐고는 안 물어봤잖아.
The Boys Over Flowers cast looked like they had perfect lives, but the reality was shocking. One star lost $13 million in legal battles over violence accusations. Another was sleeping in parking lots while attending one of Korea's toughest universities. A cast member's husband got blackmailed for millions while she was pregnant. And one actor completely vanished for 5 years after a family tragedy. Today, we're uncovering what really happened to each cast member after the cameras stopped rolling. Minho. In 2006, Minho was just starting to build his career. He wasn't a superstar yet. He was just a young actor on a road trip with his friends, excited about what might come next. But one car ride changed everything. The vehicle crashed while heading to Gangwon Province. The 2 people in the front seats died instantly. Minho and his friend Jung Il-woo were in the back and barely survived. Lee fell into a coma for a month. When he woke up, his body was broken. He had multiple fractures in his ribs, thigh, and ankle. His knee was torn. A 46-centimeter metal pin had to be inserted in his thigh, and one of his legs was left permanently shorter than the other. For the next year, he couldn't walk, act, or even stand without pain. At that moment, his dream of becoming a star nearly ended before it had the chance to begin. That's why his rise after the accident felt so unbelievable. When he finally landed the role of Gu Junpyo in Boys Over Flowers, no one could see the pain he had lived through. The character became iconic, and Minho became the face of a generation. But the success didn't mean the danger was over. In 2011, while filming City Hunter, he was in another car crash. The trauma from that accident made his past injuries worse, and it would affect him again later in life. When the time came for his mandatory military service, he couldn't serve as an active duty soldier because of those injuries. From May 2017 to April 2019, he worked as a public service officer at the Suseo Social Welfare Center. Some people questioned his military path, but few understood the physical pain he still carried from years ago. Then came something no one expected. In 2022, he stepped into Hollywood with the series Pachinko. It was bold, dramatic, and deeply emotional. His performance didn't just impress his longtime fans, it stunned critics. The New York Times, Rolling Stone, and Collider all ranked his episode among the best TV moments of that year. It was no longer just about looks or charm. It was proof of how far he had come as an actor. But even with success, Minho has shared how hard it is to carry that spotlight. He said being at the top for 12 years came with pressure that made him feel like one mistake could ruin everything. In recent interviews, he admitted that sometimes he feels like he could fall at any moment. In July 2025, he revealed something even more personal. After losing his dog, he said he cried for days. It made him realize how lonely fame can be and how much he now dreams of getting married by the time he turns 40. Even with all the emotions behind the scenes, his business side is stronger than ever. He represents 11 major brands and covers 27 different product categories. From Hugo Boss to Fendi to Cuckoo, he's everywhere. His face is trusted by millions across Asia, and that makes him one of the most in-demand celebrities for endorsements. Now, he's preparing for something huge again. His new film, Omniscient Reader, has a 30 billion won budget and marks his return to movies after almost 10 years. He says the pressure is different this time. Dramas come with weekly feedback, but a movie is a one-shot thing. He admitted that he feels burdened by how clearly the audience will judge his work. Still, he's stepping back into that world with everything he's learned, all the pain he's survived, and a heart that's still healing. Koo Hye-sun, she was once the face of innocence on Korean TV, the girl every viewer rooted for. Koo Hye-sun wasn't just a character in a drama. She was a symbol of hope. But her real life didn't follow a script. The fairy tale started falling apart in 2019, when her marriage to An Jae-hyun crashed in the public eye. At first, they seemed like a perfect couple, even giving their wedding money to charity. But then, private messages leaked. They showed a relationship full of bitterness, mistrust, and emotional collapse. Koo accused him of emotional neglect. He said she lied her way into his apartment and recorded him in his sleep. The situation got worse when An revealed he was on medication for depression and struggling financially. He had sold his home and taken loans to meet her demands. When the divorce was finalized in 2020, it left both of them bruised and fans stunned. But Koo didn't disappear. Instead, she did something no one saw coming. She went back to school, not just to pass time, but to excel. She returned to Sungkyunkwan University, where she had once dropped out, and worked harder than ever. In February 2024, she graduated with a GPA of 4.27 out of 4.5. That's 97.7%. Most people would stop there. She didn't. She got into KAIST, one of South Korea's toughest universities, with an acceptance rate under 15%. Getting a master's in science journalism from there shocked even her critics. But her journey came with a price. She later admitted she had been sleeping in her car in parking lots because she had no stable place to live. The woman once seen as a pampered TV star was now a student living in her vehicle, chasing knowledge in a world that once turned its back on her. Yet even that wasn't the end. In 2021, she patented a flat-folding hair roller called the Goo Roll. It wasn't just a gimmick, it was a real invention. By mid-2025, she launched a company based on it. The same woman who had cried on Instagram years earlier was now teaming up with a KAIST chemistry professor to bring her idea to life. She became a startup founder with legal patents and a government-approved business certificate. It was a transformation nobody could have predicted. Hun Jun, who played the soft-spoken prince, became the center of one of Korea's most painful celebrity scandals. It began in 2014, when his ex-girlfriend accused him of violent abuse. She claimed he caused injuries that needed 6 weeks of recovery. He admitted to one incident and settled for about $7,000. But things escalated when she claimed she was pregnant, then accused him of causing a miscarriage. Later, she retracted that part, but the damage was done. In 2015, Kim fired back with a defamation lawsuit. Meanwhile, she gave birth to a boy in September. A paternity test proved Kim was the father. Court after court revealed layers of emotional chaos and contradictory claims. In 2017, Kim won the case. The court ordered the woman to pay him 100 million won. She was also given a suspended jail sentence for assault. But victory came with a price. During those years, Kim lost more than $13 million. His brand deals vanished. Concerts were canceled. Toyota, Lotte, and Misha all dropped him. His agency broke ties, saying he couldn't be trusted. While serving his military duty from 2015 to 2017, he tried to escape the spotlight. But even then, stories about him kept surfacing. When he returned, he faced more problems. His former partner demanded full custody of their son and monthly payments. And in the middle of it all, Kim shocked everyone by marrying another woman in 2018. She had stood by him through everything. Within 3 years, he had 2 children with 2 different women. The press had a field day. His music comeback didn't help much. Albums that once sold hundreds of thousands now barely crossed 30,000. Venues shrank. Fees dropped from $500,000 to as low as 50,000 per show. In 2021, he was seen dining in luxury while still owing legal and child support debts. By 2022, it came out that he had moved into a smaller apartment worth 500 million won, a big step down from his old penthouse. Hoping for a revival, he reunited with other SS 501 members in 2023 and formed 501. But the response wasn't what they had hoped. Ticket sales were slow. Their shows happened in small halls and fan clubs instead of big stadiums. Kim Bum rose to fame as the charming Potter in Boys Over Flowers, stealing hearts across Asia. But behind the smile, there was something fans never saw. Even in his early 20s, Kim Bum was already dealing with a serious health issue. He had rheumatoid arthritis, a degenerative condition that ran in his family. For years, he quietly managed it with medication and exercise. But when it came time for military service in 2018, the truth finally came out. He didn't serve as a regular soldier like most actors. Instead, he was assigned to public service due to his condition. His agency confirmed that he had been receiving continuous treatment since his early 20s. That announcement shocked his fans. They had never imagined that the bright and energetic star had been silently fighting such a painful battle. After Boys Over Flowers, Kim Bum's love life became a constant topic in the media. In October 2013, he made headlines by going public with actress Min Jung, his co-star from Goddess of Fire. The relationship was confirmed in November 2013, and fans were thrilled. But by May 2014, just 7 months later, the couple had broken up. Fans were heartbroken. Then, in March 2018, only weeks before his military enlistment, Kim Bum confirmed another relationship, this time with actress Oh Yeon-seo. It felt like a final romantic chapter before his 2-year break from the spotlight. But that too ended quickly, before he even completed basic training. 2 high-profile relationships, both ending suddenly, left fans wondering what was really going on behind the scenes. In the middle of all this, Kim Bum made a bold move that no one expected. In 2012, he stepped into music with a solo album titled Hometown, released on June 20th. He even held a live concert in Japan at the Stellar Ball in Tokyo's Shinagawa Prince Hotel. It wasn't just a hobby, he was serious. Fans could see that this was a real dream, not just a side project. Then came the international wave. In 2013, he played a major role in Sui Hark's Young Detective D, Rise of the Sea Dragon. The film became one of the highest-grossing Chinese releases of the year. Kim Bum was suddenly a star, not just in Korea, but across Asia. He followed that up with Chinese dramas and films like V-Love, Lovers in Movies, and The Beloved. Without warning, he had quietly become a global actor. But what's most surprising today is how silent he's been about love. As of 2025, Kim Bum is 36 and completely single. Since his breakup with Oh Yeon-seo in 2018, there have been no confirmed relationships. Despite being one of the most eligible bachelors in Korea, he said nothing about dating or marriage. Fans search online constantly, with phrases like Kim Bum wife trending again and again. But there's never any answer. No public sightings, no rumors that stick, just complete silence. That mystery only fuels the interest even more. Since finishing his military service, Kim Bum hasn't slowed down. He returned to the screen stronger than ever, with major roles in Tale of the Nine-Tailed in 2020, Law School in 2021, and Ghost Doctor in 2022. Each project showed a different side of him, proving that he wasn't just a pretty face from a classic drama. He had range, he had staying power. Now he's set to star in the 2026 SBS drama Sold Out Again Today, where he'll play executive director Seo Eric. Kim Jun, Kim Jun became a global heartthrob when he played Song Woo-bin in Boys Over Flowers. But behind the fame, he was keeping a personal secret so big that no one, not even his closest fans, saw it coming. While the world was falling for his character, Kim Jun was quietly dating someone he had known since middle school. Their relationship had already lasted 9 years by the time he debuted with T-Max in 2007. And still, nobody had a clue. Then, in June 2018, he made an announcement that shocked everyone. He revealed that he had been married since 2015. His wife wasn't a fellow celebrity or a new love interest. She was the same woman he had been with all along. Somehow, during the peak of his fame, he had managed to keep the entire relationship, wedding, and even their family life completely private. But that wasn't all. In the same year, he also revealed that he had a child, a secret he had kept through years of interviews, public appearances, and media attention. That meant he had been a father for quite some time, before fans even suspected he was married. In an industry known for exposing every detail, Kim Jun had pulled off something almost no other star could. He built a whole life away from the spotlight and kept it hidden. His career path also took a major turn when he enlisted for mandatory military service in September 2011. He served as a conscripted policeman and was discharged in June 2013. That break from the spotlight also marked the quiet end of T-Max's active years. After that, he stepped away from major roles and chose smaller, quieter projects. Kim So-eun wasn't even planning to be an actress. She had trained to become a professional skier and was on the path to joining Korea's national team. But everything changed in 2003. During a junior skiing competition in Pyeongchang, the same place that would later host the Winter Olympics, she got scouted by a talent agency. That one random moment in the snow sent her into a completely new direction. She left behind a future in sports and stepped into the world of acting. Even after Boys Over Flowers made her famous, her path wasn't smooth. She switched agencies multiple times. In 2016, she signed with Will Entertainment. In 2021, she moved to Ascendio Reserve. But by 2024, fans noticed her profile had disappeared from Ascendio's website. No announcements, no explanation. She had quietly left the agency. Now, she works independently. That's a rare and risky move in Korean entertainment, where being without an agency can easily stall a career. Her personal life has also kept people talking. In 2014, she was paired with actor Song Jae-rim on the reality show We Got Married. Their chemistry on screen was so strong, they won Best Couple at the MBC Entertainment Awards. But what really surprised everyone was how long the dating rumors lasted. Even in June 2023, nearly 10 years after the show, people were still asking if they were secretly together. Whether it was true love or just a really long-lasting rumor, the connection between them has stayed alive far longer than anyone expected. Off-screen, Kim So-eun has also shown a side that many fans don't see. She's been active as a cultural ambassador for events like the Korea International Youth Film Festival and the Jeonju International Film Festival. In 2014, she represented the Green Film Festival and became known for supporting environmental causes. That part of her life, quiet, thoughtful, and socially active, has added depth to a career that many thought was all about playing the sweet girl next door. Park Ji-bin's journey is one of the most surprising in Korean entertainment. Back in 2009, he was just 14 when he stole hearts as Jeondi's little brother in Boys Over Flowers. Fans saw him as the sweet, playful boy next door. Fast forward to 2025, and he's a completely different person. Now 30 years old, he's no longer just the kid brother. He's a leading man. A transformation so intense that fans now call him Appa instead of Aw. But behind this glow-up was real pain. In June 2014, his father passed away unexpectedly. It hit him hard. He had been planning to enlist in the military that year, but the tragedy changed everything. He pushed his enlistment back by nearly a year, finally joining on May 26, 2015. He served for 21 months, finishing on February 25, 2017. These were supposed to be his breakout years, when other actors his age were finding their place in adult roles. But Park Ji-bin disappeared instead. And it wasn't just the military. He vanished from the screen for 5 whole years, from 2013 to 2018. Not a single drama, no guest roles, no variety shows, just silence. While his peers were growing in fame, people began to wonder if he'd quit acting for good. But during that time, something changed. When he finally returned in 2018, fans could hardly recognize him. The soft-faced boy had become a sharp-featured, mature man. And he didn't just come back with a new look, he brought a whole new energy. Instead of sweet, innocent roles, he started playing intense, dark characters. In 2024, he starred in Disney Plus's A Shop for Killers, playing a villain named Jung Min. Viewers were shocked by how well he pulled it off. One even said his villain performance was amazing. It was clear. This wasn't the same Park Ji-bin they remembered. Now he's pushing even further. After 6 years away from film, he's returned with My Name, a historical drama set during the Jeju 4.3 incident of 1948. He plays Kyung-tae, a rich and intimidating transfer student from Seoul. The kind of guy everyone at school is afraid of because of how well he fights. Filming finished on April 3, 2025, and it's already being talked about as a turning point in his career. Min Jung's story didn't just unfold on screen. It became something no drama could fully capture. After appearing in Boys Over Flowers in 2009 as Ha Jae-kyung, her career shot up fast. That same year, she won Best New Actress at the Korean Association of Film Critics Awards for her role in White Knight. But it was the 2010 film Cyrano Agency that changed everything. The romantic comedy made her a household name. She won more awards. She was everywhere. Advertisers couldn't get enough of her. Some even started calling her a goddess. But just when it looked like her life was perfect, everything cracked. In August 2013, she married Lee Byung-hun. A year later, in 2014, a scandal broke that shook the whole industry. Lee Byung-hun was secretly recorded by model Lee Ji-yeon and K-pop idol Kim Da-hee. They tried to blackmail him for nearly 5 billion won, which is around $3.7 million. What made it worse was the timing. Min Jung was pregnant. The betrayal hit hard. She left their home and stayed with her parents. The media was brutal. Most people thought a divorce was coming, but she didn't walk away. Instead of leaving, Min Jung chose to stay. And that choice changed everything. On March 31, 2015, she gave birth to their son, Lee Jun-hoo. Years passed. Slowly, their life started to settle again. 8 years after their son, in December 2023, they had a daughter. That gap said a lot. It wasn't just time, it was rebuilding. Trust doesn't come back fast. But somehow, they made it through. Then came the comeback no one saw coming. After her drama once again ended in 2020, Min Jung disappeared from the screen. She stepped back for 5 years. Then, in March 2025, she returned in a way that surprised everyone. She launched her own YouTube channel. She joked that she finally learned how to ask people to like, comment, and subscribe, thanks to Mensa member Kim Ji-seok. But she didn't stop there. In May 2025, her first ever variety show aired. It was called Heart on Wheels. It wasn't just another program. It carried her name. After 27 years in the industry, this was a first. In the show, she visits rural villages in a moving convenience store. Her husband, Lee Byung-hun, narrated the show in the same tone as his character from Our Blues. Han Jae-young became a star in 2009 after playing Min Seo-hyun in Boys Over Flowers. At 29, she was already at the peak of her career. Fans expected more K-dramas and red carpet moments, but what followed was not what anyone saw coming. Over the next 16 years, her life turned into something more complex and controversial than any drama she had ever acted in. In 2012, she shocked her Korean fans by announcing that she was stepping away from Korean entertainment. She had signed an exclusive deal with a Chinese company, Huai Brothers, worth around 15 billion won, or $12 million. At the time, it was one of the biggest deals ever made by a Korean actress. To many in Korea, it felt like she had turned her back on them. But for Han Jae-young, it was just the beginning of a new chapter. By 2015, people started noticing that she wasn't just acting anymore. Reports came out that she had quietly become a serious real estate investor. She had bought properties in Seoul's Gangnam district, Shanghai, and even Los Angeles. The total value was over 50 billion won. That's more than 40 million US dollars. Most people had no idea she was using her Chinese earnings to build a property empire. She wasn't just an actress anymore. She had quietly become one of the richest former K-drama stars. Then, in 2018, the rumors got even louder. Photos were published of her spending time with a Chinese tech billionaire named Li Wei-chen. People started wondering if their relationship was more than just friendly. Some noticed that every time Li made a new business move, she bought new property soon after. They never confirmed anything, but the timing raised eyebrows. The story became bigger than just romance. It made people question whether her personal life was guiding her financial decisions. Things took a darker turn in 2023. Korean tax officials opened an investigation and claimed she had underreported her Chinese income by 8 billion won. That's around 6 million US dollars. It became front-page news. Even though the issue was settled, the damage to her reputation was already done. For years, she had built an image of elegance and success. Now, people were asking if it was all just a carefully managed illusion. In 2025, she returned to the spotlight with a film called The Devil You Know. But this wasn't just a comeback. It looked more like a strategy, a way to clean up the past and reconnect with the audience she once left behind. Whether it will work is still uncertain. But one thing is clear. Han Jae-young's story is no longer just about fame. It's about risk, reinvention, and how quickly a career can become something else entirely.